Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I am Atika and today I will explain the factor influencing ethical decision making within financial services organization. Before that, this is the outline of my informative speech. We will begin with the introduction where we will explore a little bit about the financial service industry and what is exactly the relationship between this industry and the ethical decision making. Then we move to the next factor influencing ethical decision making within financial services organization, which consists individual, situational, and contextual factor. Then I will summarize all my speech at the end of this video and I will make a conclusion. Without wasting any time, let's get started. Doing well by doing good. According to the economics, this will be the business mantra. This is encouraging and inspiring everyone. It is also strongly linked to this topic, which is ethical decision making within financial services organization. The financial service sector is likely the most important sector of the economy, leading the world in terms of revenue and stock market capitalization. However, due to the important position that financial institutions serve, the moral risk could be more acute, and it is logically that the industry be subject to higher ethical expectation. Being ethical in financial services industry will help to safeguard the stability and the sustainability of the business, and as a result, improve in industry overall reputation of public trust in the industry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today I will explain three factors that influencing ethical decision making in financial services industry. First, we will talk about the individual factor. Generally, financial planner will act whether ethically or unethically based on their own moral value, demographic attribute, personality, and their cognitive ethical reasoning of the individual. For example, for moral value, sometimes the moral value of financial services might not be relatively stable over the time. This is because sometimes an individual tend to behave like evil because they often involve in conflicting situations, but it depends on how the matter in which value are acquired in the first place. While for demographic attribute, it influenced by the age, gender, and education level of the financial planner. For example, some studies indicate that the higher the education level, the higher the ethical development of financial planner. Are you agree with this statement? Comment down below. Then we move to the personality of the financial planner. The personality of the financial planner has been determined based on the culture, religions, and the parental education by their family. So no matter what is the personality of the financial planner, they are still hold the same change of behaving ethical or unethical in their career. Okay, forget about the individual factor. Now we move to the second factor, which is situational factor. There are several aspects that involve in situational factor, such as size of organization, ethical awareness, and structure of the organization. So now my intention is only want to explain about two kind of the factor, which is size of organization and ethical awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, being ethical is the most important aspect to build trust. For example, normally smaller financial service company have a tendency to make a better ethical decision because smaller company have a high tendency to achieve a high satisfaction among its customer and has a high motivation to create trust for their own companies. Then ethical awareness. Do you realize that lack of reminder by the companies about the term of putting client interests first sometimes can view unethical behavior among the financial planner. This is because people need to be reminding frequently in order to make sure that the standard code of conduct is complied perfectly. Okay, settle about the situational factor. Now I will explain about the last factor, which is contextual factor. The aspect under this factor may include remuneration and reward, ethical leadership and ethical culture of the organization. Okay everyone, remuneration and reward is the best mechanism to increase motivation of individual, right? However, remuneration and reward that favor self-interest over the interest of the client may be influencing ethical decision making in the financial service organization. So, to prevent this issue, many financial service institutions right now evaluate performance based on their integrity issue rather than pecuniary target. For ethical leadership, we can say that leaders with a higher ethical reasoning were more likely to influence the ethical climate of their groups. It means that ethical leadership within financial services organization may be significantly related to the perception of the ethical climate type and may have a positive influence on the ethical behavior of the staff. Next, culture in the organization. It can be the control mechanism that guide the attitude and the behavior of the employees in the workplace. Through core set of assumption, understanding, and implicit rule, which mean organization with poor ethical decision making and unethical behavior can be a function of lack of organizational commitment or structure to establish a proper environment for sound ethical decision making. In an age where we considered to do the right thing, it is more crucial than ever. Corporate ethics is increasingly recognized as a success driver. Ethical decision making has the potential to decrease risk, minimize brand harm, and create value. Furthermore, financial service firms with a strong ethical stance are more likely to attract a new generation of ethical conscious consumer and job seeker. Make the best decision and test it out, taking into account all the options to see which choice best handle the current situation. Aside from that, act and then reflect on the consequences. Having a technique for making ethical decisions is absolutely necessary. It goes on to say that making excellent ethical judgment necessitates a trained awareness to ethical concern as well as a practice approach for studying the ethical element of the decision and considering the element that could influence our choice of our course of action. Okay guys, for the conclusion, ethical decision making is essentially in developing trust and confidence in financial service organization. Code of ethics at least set aspiration goals. The financial service industry need to engage with their employees or customer to nurture a culture conducive to ethical decision making. The practice action should be taken to mitigate risk by considering an ethical decision making process in the light of the financial sector and creating a strategy to support better ethical results. Okay guys, that's all for this video. Thank you for your attention. Bye bye.